essentially, it brings all the information together on what's available to take help during this transition. I'm going to skip over some of this. Let's go on the next slide. Preparing for the future. As soon as the Augustine panel was working on their report, we pulled the senior staff together and we started seeing what was coming out of it. And we said, all right, given this report, how does this impact KSC? How do we prepare for where we're going? It's a challenge, okay? And we knew the change was coming, and we wanted to make sure that we were proactive and we were ready for it. And we had, we started with one offsite last fall, and that's progressed. I forget what number we're up to now of meetings following up on the actions and then continuing to evolve to what our path forward is. And I want to share that with all of you. And I think this vision mission statement really captures where we want to go as a space center. And for those that have a hard time reading back there in the back, our vision is that KSC is the world's preeminent launch complex for government and commercial space access, enabling the world to explore and work in space. That's what we want to be. We want everybody who want to come here. We want to enable operations in space and do it in a cost-effective, efficient manner. Our mission: KSC safely manages, develops, integrates, and sustains space systems through partnerships that enable innovative, diverse access to space and inspires the nation's future explorers. It's a mouthful, but I think if we take that vision and that mission statement along with our core competencies, it's going to put us in a very good position for the future. And we sat and we hashed this around over numerous meetings, and we said, what defines KSC? What do we do that makes us different from or better or unique, and what is going to bring work here to KSC and improve things for this area? And we think it's our core competencies. We think that we have acquisition and management skills for launch services and commercial crew development, launch vehicle and spacecraft processing, launch and landing recovery, operations and sustaining engineering. We have those capabilities. Payload and flight science experiment processing, integration and testing. Just look at what we've accomplished with Space Station. Design and development, operating and sustaining flight and ground systems and support infrastructure. Development, testing, and demonstration of advanced flight systems and transformational technologies. And, you know, we don't have a huge technology development area here at KSC, but we have some very unique capabilities that we need to build on. And we have capabilities that not all the other NASA centers have, and they look for us. And so we're looking for ways. We don't necessarily have to lead a lot of efforts, but we want to partner them. We want to utilize what we have, and we want folks to come to us for our expertise. And finally, developing technology to advance exploration in space systems. And we're working on that. And we're a leader in a lot of areas. And we have a lot of patents and unique stuff that's been developed here at KSC. I think we were second last year in innovative patents among the 10 NASA centers. Next slide. So, how do we transform KSC? And this slide, it kind of says it all. I'm going to turn around so I can read it. Hey, that's louder. Is that better? I'll use the mic this way. You know, we looked at what are our goals, okay? And for those who can't read them here, ensure mission success by providing government and commercial access to space. Okay? Develop, operate, and sustain robust launch complex for all providers. Okay? Conduct research and technology development to enable mission success, and finally provide a robust institution to enable success. Well, this is kind of where we think we are right now when we look at those 4 goals that we want to put in place to make KSC the future launch complex that it can be. Right now, we're pretty much aimed at government operations. The commercial space on the Kennedy Space Center side is not what it can be, and we want to change that. We want to transform to become that diverse government and commercial full life cycle support and acquisition. We have the capabilities to do that, and if we do it right, we believe we can grow significantly in that area. You know, as far as our launch complex, we've been pretty program specific. And we want to take that 21st century launch complex money, and we want to transform KSC into a multi-user facility. And we can talk a little bit more about that on what our vision is for Launch Complex 39. As far as conducting research and technology, like I said, it's pretty narrow right now. We'd like to evolve our research technology development efforts so that we can be recognized more so. I said we were second, but a lot of people still don't recognize the capability that we have. I think, if we do, we'll talk more about it, but if we do the exploration part right, we can draw research and technology to this area and grow in that way, especially capitalizing on the ISS international land. Finally, our support, in the past, with the programs that come here, each program was very stovepipe. The Space Shuttle program had all its engineering and support within the program itself, and not that much was provided by the institution. What we want to do is pull those core capabilities back into the institution and have a complex here that supports multiple programs. The program's staff and engineering support and all that isn't as big. We provide the support to multiple users. And we have a tremendous engineering capability here at KSC. We've pulled engineering out of the different programs. Pat Simpkins has done a great job leading that team and developing what is now recognized as a great engineering capability here at KSC. We are going to build an ops director, if you will, within KSC, responsible for launch operations that provides support to commercial space. The 21st century launch complex, it doesn't change significantly through the compromises. There's $1.9 billion over the next 5 years to transform the launch complex and make it the launch complex of the future. Commercial crew. We are going to get access to low Earth orbit, the space station, and elsewhere through commercial operations. And you can say they're not ready yet. That's been in the media. A lot of folks say that. A lot of folks say they're more than ready, and you just need to give them a chance. But whatever, whether it happens in 2 to 3 years, 5 to 8 years, 8 to 10 years, there are going to be commercial operations to low Earth orbit. And we at KSC in this area need to enable it and say we want it here. And how do we do it? How do we do it right? How do we make it successful? How do we provide what they want? We've had RFIs go out asking industry, how can we help you? What do you want from us? What do you need for us to provide to enable you? And we know that it has to be cost effective. We're working on how we charge, what practices we use, and so on, so that we there under heavy lift and propulsion technology with the rather than technology development as was originally laid out in the President's budget, proposed budget. It looks like we're going to have a compromise that tells us to actually go develop a heavy lift vehicle, not decide on an architecture by 2015, but have something flying by 2015 and 2016. If that happens, that's a significant program that will come here to KSC. Not the program itself, but what's required to process that rocket, integrate it, and launch it. And that's a significant number of jobs here at the Kennedy Space Center for the future. So we'll work on it and we're preparing for it. And then you can see some of the other projects that fall underneath those. We don't have project managers assigned, but we have people who are in the planning process right now, pulling all this together so that once we have a budget and a plan forward, we can enact and get going. We're not at ground zero trying to start all this stuff up. So Jennifer Kuntz has been working 21st century range. Ed Mangos has been working with the commercial crew. Amanda Niskevich, of course, is our program manager for launch services. And Pepper Phillips, I've asked to work on a deputy with JSC on the flagship technologies. And we're pulling all that together. We're planning. And once the budget finally comes, we're going to be ready to move forward. Next slide. I don't have to tell you about our workforce. It is a phenomenal workforce. There's none better anywhere. And it pains me to know that we're going to have so many outstanding people